Like, oh, that's a bit sus already. And then I just seen it, dude. I could just see its eyes above the water and the back of its tail. Oh, this is it.
So there's a small water hole.
Yeah. Jav
So right there on the bank, you can see a big saltwater crocodile. You can see his snout and his eyes closest to the bank, and then you can see like the ridge of the front of his tail standing up in the water. I actually watched him come from the centre of that billabong there, right to the edge, when he noticed the line that I was taking to the edge of the water.
Watch this thing sink away.
But yeah, you can see he's properly hunting me here. You'll see his eyes and snout just disappear under that dirty water.
Look how slow he drops away.
And he's doing that to try to get you. And you're walking close to this motherfucker.
Yeah, look at his tail prime. See the water?
To just lunge forward and have a crack at me.
So he's ready to go.
How far away are you from here?
Away from the coast.
10 meters, maybe.
Why? Oh my God, look at it. It's getting ready. Look at its tail.
He just,
I know they're called a saltwater crocodile, but they should be called an all-water crocodile because they live in all water. Yeah, and I just threw that stick at him just to let him know that I know you're there, and a little bit of a fuck you too. But
Jesus Christ, those things are terrifying.
Grabbing you and dragging you into that water and then twisting and tearing your limbs off.
Oh.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh.
Horrible death.
Bro.
you could take him, Joe. You could take him.
All that. I would take him from a distance with a 300 Win Mag.
Oh, they're so prehistoric, eh?
Fuck those things.
But like, so that croc's probably never seen a person before.
Probably.
And there's nothing else getting around there that's walking upright like a human. But I was still food. I was still on the menu.
Everything's on the menu.
Completely on the menu. Yeah. Whereas if you see a lot of other animals in nature that have never seen a person.
You're not on the menu.
Well, no, you're so foreign that they just want to get the fuck out of there.
Right.
And he could have sunk down and turned around and sunk into that water. I would never know that it was there. But instead he's like, fuck, food, sweet. Yeah. Let's have a crack, you know? Yeah. So, but that seems more common at the moment. And I don't know why, if the population's getting too high, but you used to get around and see like a salty or two every now and then, a saltwater crocodile every now and then. But nearly like hard to find, you know, certain river systems not, but like tucked away water like that. Whereas now it's just like every fucking waterhole's got a croc in it. Ugh. So we just bought a property up in the Northern Territory of Australia, and it's got a beautiful big lagoon on it. And Kimmy's like, oh, fuck, that's going to be sweet for swimming. I'm like, that's the wrong state of Australia, you know, because the top of Western Australia and all of Northern Territory and the top of Queensland, that's where the crocs are. Saltwater crocodiles are in that district.
And they're deep inland.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. So, and this property that we've purchased is inland as well. But they get pushed in there, like the Northern Territory will have a big wet season, water will rise, like over the top of the land and everything like that, water will rise, and those big salties can move into a little water hole where they've never been before. So you might have a property and being like, nah, this water's sweet, and then the next year there's a big salty in there.
And they can go for a year without eating.
They'd be freaking desperate if they did. Like, you're definitely on the menu if they do that.
But I mean, that's just an extraordinary animal.
Yeah.
I mean, evolution just has honed those motherfuckers to a razor's edge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I told you about the story where, like, I shoot a big boar pig and, like, the arrow zips through it and it just dropped over onto the riverbank. And I walked over there with another arrow just to see if I had to follow it up. And so I walked up and, like, I'm at, like, a metre above it. Anyway, it was just on the side of the water, like, not in the water, just on the side of the water. And it was just, like, in the final stages of its life. And I looked down and put the second arrow away, like it doesn't need another arrow, it's sweet. And I looked down and put the second arrow away and just heard the water erupt. And this big saltwater crocodile come out, grabbed it. I could still see it in slow-mo. Grabbed this pig, like threw it over in the water, and then started swimming away with it. And actually took, and it was a big boar pig, actually took it underwater for like 30, 40 yards and then come back up with it. And then another big salty was trying to get it off that saltwater crocodile. Now, if that pig was already dead, I would have just jumped straight down the back, the bank, and I would have been right in the line of fire.
Oh, boy.
You know,
and
it's like,
two of them there.
That's how quick it happens, dude, you know, and it's just like, they're just sitting there waiting. I had another trip. I love these crocodile stories because they're so fucked up.
They make my skin crawl.
Like 120 kilometers across like inland Northern Territory. And, it was funny because, you know, when you're in society, like back at home, you've got all the different things going on, whether it's bills, kids, you know, just 1,000 things going on, work and stuff like that. And Kimmy really enjoyed that trip because all you had to worry about every day was water, food, where you're going to camp. But with water comes fucking crocodiles because you have to go down and collect the water. Like we're walking 120 kilometres. You can't carry enough water for 120 kilometres. You literally fill it, and it's stinking hot. So you're filling your water bottle up multiple times a day. And I'm like, you stay back here and I'll race down, watch the bank where I fill the water up at. And because you're looking over this water hole, like even with binoculars, glass in it, you can't see a croc anywhere. Like during the daylight, like you can't see a croc anywhere. And I go down, and I'm fast. Like I don't muck around down there. You go down, you scoop up the water, and it's dirty water. You can't drink it. Then you take it back up the bank away from the crocs, and you filter it up there from one water bottle to another. So anyway, I race down there. I scoop up the water. I'm halfway back up the bank, like way away from the water though. And Kim's like, "Look behind you." And I turn around behind me and big saltwater crocodile eyes come up straight behind me. Like, that's how quick they are. I went down, scooped the water, got away from there, right where I filled up the water, croc eyes come straight up.
Because they had sensed movement.
They're just onto it. They're probably looking at you the whole time, you know, but you just can't see it.
Fuck that.
And then, but at night time, like you'd shine a torch around and it's just like red eyes everywhere. So during the day, there's like, you can't see a croc. And then you shine a torch in a water hole at night and there's just eyes everywhere.
Do you feel safe in a tent?
Yeah, because they'll only come so far at the bank. So this last mission that I did with a couple of friends, we had no choice but to camp within like 20 yards of the bank, but it's a high bank, and the saltwater crocodiles were trying to come up that high bank every night. So we end up running fishing line, you know, like 3 or 4 inches off the ground, and like tying tin cans and like whatever we could that would make noise across there, just so you'd hear them coming up overnight.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For some sickening reason, I still sleep fine. But that's really uncomfortable. But generally, you're 100 yards up the bank. They won't come that far unless they're really desperate. So I had a buddy tell me that he'd had crocs travel 200-300 yards up a bank, and they took his dogs off a chain. Like they actually ripped the dogs off the chain where they were locked up. But he was like camped there for weeks and weeks sort of thing. So the crocs were patterning it sort of thing. And that's what they do. And that's why you don't fill up water at the same place like twice in a row. Yeah.